Welcome to Follow Your Curiosity. Ordinary people, extraordinary creativity. Here's how to get unstuck. I'm your host, creativity coach Nancy Norbeck. Let's go. Hey everybody, this is Nancy Norbeck here with this week's Creative Pep Talk. This week I want to talk about following your energy. A lot of times, you'll have a bunch of different things that might be calling to you to do, different things that you're interested in. And the question is always, which one of these should I do? And the answer that I always give is the one that has the most energy behind it. To put it more simply, the one you want to do the most. Usually this will not be hard to tell. If it is for some reason, then you can always do something as simple as flip a coin. If you're upset with the way the coin lands, then you have an answer. It sounds crazy and too simple, but it works. And I want to give you an example of this from my own life because it's just happened to me this week, because sometimes the thing that has all the energy isn't waiting for you to figure it out. It's just pushing you to do the thing. And that's what happened to me this week. I have just started a Substack newsletter, which is not something that I had been thinking about doing a week and a half ago. But the idea started to creep into my head. And I really liked the idea of having a place to put things that I'd like to write about. All of a sudden, all of these words just have been wanting to come out of me. I haven't really done a whole lot of writing since I started the podcast, and that's been almost 5 years. For a long time, that's been fine. Apparently, it's not fine anymore. And so Substack felt like a place where I could write about whatever I feel like writing about in any given moment. It could be something timely. It could be a poem. It could be, a photo that I took that I, wanted to share and tell you a little bit about. It could be anything. It could be silly. It could be deep. I don't know. I'm just starting it. But let me tell you, once the idea had a grip on me, it had a grip on me. I am not overstating things. It was just constantly pushing me to be looking up how things work on Substack, trying to figure out, what would I need to do? How does this work? How do I set it up? What do I need? Do I need a logo? Do I need something else? What do I need? And how do I do it? And more importantly, what am I going to write about? Because I want to write something, right? And it was not taking no for an answer. When stuff like this happens to you, don't try to push away what's going on. This is a time to totally run with whatever is happening inside you from wherever it might be coming from, with my usual proviso, as long as it's legal and not hurting anybody, and just let it do what it wants to do. Sometimes our creativity is just so in touch with other forces of aliveness in the world and possibly beyond, I don't know, that it's not really going to give you much of a choice. It just wants you to do the thing that it wants you to do. Whatever that is, you'll know because it won't let you go. Don't try to push it away. Don't try to deny it. Don't tell yourself it's silly. Don't tell yourself that, it's not important. It's coming through you because it needs to come through you. There is something important and something of value about it, and you need to run with it. I do not know yet what this Substack newsletter of mine, which is, by the way, called The Spark, and you'll find a link to in your podcast app. I don't know what it's going to be. I don't know what it's going to look like. I know what the first 2 posts look like. That's it. It could all change. It could change in 6 months. It could change next week. I don't know. But I am running with that energy because that kind of energy doesn't come by every single day. Even if you have a well-developed creative practice, it doesn't usually happen with this kind of energy just suddenly coming in and pushing you. In fact, one of the reasons that you may want to ignore it is that you think it'll interfere with your well-developed creative practice. And it might. It might be in addition to your well-developed creative practice. It might be pushing you in a totally new direction that you didn't want, weren't looking for, didn't ask for, but somehow need, and you just don't know that yet. There is only one way to find out. And that is to just run with that energy and see where it takes you. Generally speaking, it's there for a reason. It's worth following, and you'll figure out why eventually, hopefully sooner rather than later, but you never know, and it may change. But it's important to follow it. that kind of energy doesn't happen every day. It's kind of like being in flow, except that this, at least for me in the last week, felt more like something pushing at my back, saying, no, go, 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 go. So give it a shot. Don't deny it. Don't push it away. Don't pretend it's not there. Run with it. See where it takes you. See where you land at the end of it. At the very least, you will learn something about yourself and your process that you didn't know before. Let me know how it goes. Check out The Spark. It's free, and I hope you'll enjoy it. And with that, I will see you next time. If this episode resonated with you, don't forget to get in touch on any of my social platforms or even via email at nancy@fycuriosity.com and tell me what you loved. And if you're feeling a little bit less than confident in your creative process right now, and you haven't yet signed up for my free email series on 6 of the most common creative beliefs that are messing you up, please check it out. It'll untangle those myths and help you get rolling again. You can find it at fycuriosity.com, and there's also a link right in your podcast app. See you there, and see you next week. Follow Your Curiosity is produced by me, Nancy Norbeck, with music by Joseph McDade. If you like Follow Your Curiosity, please subscribe, rate, and review on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts. And don't forget to tell your friends. It really helps me reach new listeners. Thanks.